Hello, family. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to another day of our Smart Financial Move series. My name is Jidene, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok. And I stream teaching and talking to my people here in the diaspora, to people like me here in the diaspora about how to make smart financial moves. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Welcome to our day 3 of our smart financial moves. How has been your day? How is your Sunday? Hope service was good today, and I believe you are fired for the new week. All right, thank you so very much. If you are joining me for the first time, my name is Jidene. I'm your favorite financial educator here on TikTok, and I've been doing something for the past 2 days, I guess. Yeah, today is day 3. I call it the Smart Financial Move series, whereby I talk to immigrants, especially in the diaspora, about understanding that there is a life we came here for. There is a reason why we all relocated into the United Kingdom. For instance, I'm in the United Kingdom. And the moment we don't understand that, we cannot run it the way we think and expect the results we're looking for, we'll find out that we'll keep running in circle. So because of this, I do it once every quarter. For 15 straight days, I stream talking about different topics like understanding the system, dealing with debt, credit score, credit reporting, how to build it the proper way, budgeting and creating a management system, understanding the 4 different quadrants that you need to move through to have a successful life, especially in diaspora, career growth, how do you grow in your career? Very important. Self-employment, how do you stretch yourself to wealth zones, especially as immigrants in the UK? Talk about insurance. This is something I've discovered that many of our people really don't take advantage of. Building the upcoming generation, the children you say you came into the UK for. How do you make sure that you end up don't lose them and you build the right life that can give them the advantage? We'll talk about topics like that. So we'll talk about mentoring, networking, and accountability. You are the average of the 4 or 5 people you have around you. So it's important you understand how to do it the right way, so that you can hasten your journey. A man said something, instead of me having 100% of my strength alone in a thing, I would rather have 10 people bring in 10% of their strength. I now am left with 90% of my strength into something else. In other words, it's saying that you can do more when you understand the right networking. Somebody said something. He said, if God is going to help you, it will not come from above. He was going to use men. So you have to understand that's another topic we look into. Then definitely we look into building assets against liability. How do I structure my life in the UK so that I don't end up accumulating liability, all in the name of easy access? It's accessible to me, but unfortunately, I'm putting liability together. So how do we structure it so that I have more assets than liability? Then definitely we'll talk about investment, we'll talk about business. So in the past 2 days, it's been awesome. The first day we talked about understanding the system. If you've been around for a while, you will discover that the system was never designed, to hand over money to you. The system was never designed to make you wealthy. The moment you get to understand this, you will discover that it is how you structure yourself smartly that determines what your outcome will be, especially for those of us who are in the UK to start with. And definitely this also cuts across all diaspora. So you have to understand that it's not necessarily about how hard you are working, but how smart you are working. It's not about how many shifts you are doing, how many jobs you are doing, but the ability to know that whatever is taking the control from your hand is actually the one that is determining your outcome. So the work is, how can I start understanding the system and using, or rather leveraging what is in the system, so that I can have a better life. We had that conversation yesterday. We talked about debt. It was really a long and a tough one. Understanding that many people don't understand that overdraft and credit card, it's a product. It's not a blessing from God. Neither is it free money. It's a product. The moment you have the right understanding of what it is and understand that how they leverage on it is our ignorance, number one. And the second part of it is many of us really don't have any problem being in debt until we start exposing ourselves to this credit. You know, you came from Africa whereby to even borrow £5,000 from the 5,000 naira from the bank, you know, that like say you must drop all your family as guarantor, you know, and walking into a system whereby they know you cannot afford £23,000, but they are willing to give you £23,000 for car finance. You know, it takes a level of discipline and understanding to know that even though it's accessible, it is not my money. It's a money that many people unfortunately have put themselves in a loophole. You know, so we had that conversation yesterday talking about how to manage debt, you know, so that you don't fall into that same trap that will keep many people. I've seen people roll in circles for long. Why? Because they don't understand the trap called credit and the trap called overdraft. And why do I call it trap? Somebody will say, but it's a good one now. Yeah, I understand that there's something we call good debt and bad debt, guys. I know this. How are you at that? Thank you so much. You know, I know this, but the truth is, many of us in the diaspora, even your salary is not enough yet. So you end up discovering that many of us use debt as what? For consumables. So we use Klarna to buy things, not because those things are assets, but because they are easily accessible for me to use that money to buy. You know, you use your overdraft to buy things like that, not because you are buying, thank you, AB, you know, not because you are buying it to grow or to make more money. So you find out that we end up using overdraft and credit on consumables. In fact, some of us do it and we use it to send money back to Nigeria as black tax. You end up using money that you don't have into things that will not bring money back to you. Easy, thank you so much. You know, so it's important for us to have on this understanding. Why? Because sometimes we think it's because we are not making more money. And I tell us that even if you make more money into a poor system, it will just amplify your wastefulness. You know, so money in itself is not good, neither is it bad. It only takes into the structure where it comes into. So, in other words, if I put £10 million in the hand of a drug baron, what you will see on the street is more drugs. So it's not that the money was bad. Then, if you put that same money into the hand of a somebody who is into charity, you find out that it can help more people. So, in other words, money is not good, neither is money bad. Money only takes up the character of the person who is using it. And from character, now we'll talk about the financial mindset of the person managing it. Thank you so much, Easy. So if you don't understand how to use debt the right way, you'll find out that people that never ever should have problem with being in negative will perpetually be in negative. Why? Because they don't have that financial prudency to understand what debt is and how it should be used. And this is how I tell people to use it. You must use it like the rich. There is this saying, if the rich man borrows money from the bank, it is the bank that has headache. If the poor man borrows money from the bank, it is the poor man that has headache. Why? Because the rich man knows how to use money as a means of building assets. So we're talking about please and please, please, if you don't have any business using the money to create assets or to buy or to create things that will bring in more money, please stay away from debt. Your income is already showing you that you don't have sufficient money to handle your living. That is why you're already considering using overdraft. The question should not be, Jide, are you saying we should not stay away? Are you saying it is bad? No. The question should be, what can I do to make sure that I can earn more so that I don't have any reason to live my own day-to-day life on overdraft and on credit? So it's important for us. Why? Because I've seen many people lose the ability to decide how quick they will come out of a phase in life. Why? Because they've engaged yourself into debt for a long period of time. So it's very, very important for us to understand this vehicle called debt. Debt is not a gift. It's not free money. You need to keep reminding yourself that overdraft is not your money. You need to keep letting your mind know that credit card is not your money. It is a pseudo money. It is not your money. You know, I showed you guys yesterday before I really entered into stopping all these things over 1.5 years ago. Overdraft interest alone, overdraft interest, as small as it is, 0.6, 1.2, depending on how much you borrow, it cumulated in the space of 2 years to over £700 interest that is paid on overdraft interest alone. I'm not talking credit card. I'm not talking any of those things. Overdraft interest alone has gone as high as £700. Many of us need to go and look at what is happening in your account. Many a times we think the challenge is we are not making more money. So we keep praying that more money comes. But if you sit down, like I gave you assignment yesterday, I hope some of you did it. If you sit down and download your account statements for the past 4 or 5 months, guys, and analyze it, you will see where your money is going to. Some of you are not building house back in Nigeria, but in the past 4 months, you have sent almost £2,000 back as black tax. You are not sorting yourself here. You are not getting your life here together, but you are conveniently sending that money. If you don't sit down and measure it, if you don't sit down and monitor it, there is no way you can improve it. So imagine making more money into that kind of structure that has a floor and a leakages all around. You would only expand how much leakages you will be sending out. So that's why I say sit down, manage the system where the money is entering into. Many of us know where our money is coming from. It's coming from salary, but many of us don't pay attention to how our money is going. And I said that to let you know that it's not so much about how much you are making, it is so much about how much you are keeping. So if I end up working every year and my salary is £100,000, but at the end of the year I could only keep £5,000, and somebody else is working and the salary is £40,000 and is able to keep £3,000, that person is doing way better than I am doing financially. Why? Because the system is already showing that this person knows how to keep more than I am keeping more. So you see that it's not necessarily about how much you are making. It is at the long run how much you are keeping. How are you managing your system? So we spoke extensively, almost 2 hours, 30 minutes yesterday, about dealing with debt and how to structure that. One of the things which many people have unfortunately gotten themselves into debt because they've told you that you need credit card to build your credit score. Guys, how many of you are using credit card to build your credit score here? In the comment section, if you don't mind, can you just let me know that the reason why you took your credit card is so that you can build your credit score? Can you put it in the comment section if that is the reason why you took credit card? You took it because you want to build your credit score. Comment section. Let me know if this is something that we need to talk about. This thing about credit score, this credit reporting. All right, beautiful. Somebody have said so, which is not bad. Which is not bad. But we need to understand that. Do you know that you don't need a credit card to actually build your credit score? You necessarily don't need a credit card because they've told you that without a credit card you cannot build a credit score. Because of that, no company, no mortgage will borrow you money, when you want to buy property and blah 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 blah. But remember, don't raise up your hand in this one. Just hold it within. When they told you, just say, okay, I'll just be using £10. They said, me, I'm very prudent. I'll use £10. From £10, you have used 20. Now, remember the last time you used it, it was £200 you used out of your. Can you see that you are subconsciously getting used to money that is not your own? Instead of building your financial muscle to understand how can I create my own, you are or subconsciously now training your mind to always know that there's a backup I can fall to. It's so normal for some people to have negative in their account balance regularly. So they don't even know what it means to end a month with positive in their account balance. And I'm saying, do you know what you are becoming? By doing so, you are trying to normalize what is abnormal. You are no longer living abundance again. So you are now normalizing that it is normal for it to be. And I'm saying it's not normal. It is not normal, guys. Yes, it is available, doesn't mean that's the normal life. Especially if you want to live a life that is going to be financially buoyant. You must understand that it is not how much credit facility you have available that is to your advantage, but really it is what you have to your name that is really to your advantage. So it's important for us to have this conversation. And today we'll be talking about this credit score, this credit reporting, and is it true that credit card can build my credit score? Or do I need it to build my credit score mandatorily? The answer is no. I know many people who don't have credit card and they have gotten mortgage in this country. Why? Because you must understand what is the credit system and the reporting system of credit. If you don't understand it, you'll just be holding on to one thing. Why there are many other things that has bigger impact and bigger influence on your credit reporting or your credit score rating in this country. Guys, if you are following me or you are joining me for the first time, my name is Jide, your favorite financial educator, and I come here talk to my immigrants like me so that we can understand the financial system, especially for those of us in the diaspora, so that we don't make a silly mistake that would elongate our life financially into the lack in the lack part of life, and understand how can you structure your life better and make the most of the system. Now I do something once every
Playing
quarter.
from Blessed.
Oh, sorry guys, let me read. Alexa, reduce the volume to the lowest. All right, so sorry about that. I do something once every quarter whereby I stream for 15 days back to back, talking about different topics that can help us structure our life financially in a better way here in the United Kingdom. And today I'll be talking about the credit system. I am not planning to stay long today, so I do that 6 p.m. every day till the 30th. I'll be showing up 6 p.m. talking about different topic. We've spoken about debt yesterday. We've spoken about understanding the system. Today we are talking about credit reporting and credit rating. We'll talk about budgeting. We'll talk about budgeting. Let me look at my paper. We'll talk about the 4 quadrants that you can move through to have a viable life here in the UK. We'll talk about career growth. We'll talk about self-employment. We have insurance. I have a friend who is good at that will come here talking to us about insurance. We'll talk about building the next generation. We'll talk about networking, mentoring, and accountability. We'll talk about building assets against liability. We'll talk about investment. We'll talk about business. So it's going to be a back-to-back for us for the next 12 days. Today is the 3rd day. So we have 12 days left to the end of this month to have that conversation. So if you are joining me for the first time, please click the follow button so that TikTok can notify you whenever I'm streaming. Thank you so much, my dear. Can notify you when I'm streaming. That's number 1. And number 2, please, there is about 4 fake Jideneye accounts. Somebody still sent me one message yesterday that, is this my number? I said, it's not my number, it's the number of scammer. I will never come to your inbox and message you about one investment or message you about one crypto or send you my number and say, let us move. I will never be the first person to message you. Please, if anybody is doing that, please just block that person. Block it. It is not from me, so that you will not lose your money. Guys, you must know that when there is fake, means they have identified that the original is doing something that creates credibility, so they want to leverage on it. The last thing I would like to say is, please, we can do more for our community if we all are hearing the same thing that can help us. So I encourage husband, share it to your wife share it to your husband, friends, share it to your other friends. Let's have this engagement so that the knowledge we have can put us in a better position. Guys, ignorance is not a strategy, and I know they forgive am for diaspora. And nobody will come to your workplace and sit you up and say, okay, now let us teach you this, let us structure this for you. Nobody teaches you about finance and your money. Nobody does that for you. So you have to get that knowledge, and that's why it's important we have this conversation together. So this thing called credit, what is it all about? Guys, you must understand that credit system or credit thing in this country is not necessarily about the score. Credit is a way in which they can track who you are from a financial credibility point of view. What do I mean? For instance, in this country, remember when you first came and you used your provisional license to drive car, you were able to drive, right? Your insurance was good, was not high. But if you notice that the moment you passed your driving test and you had the UK license, even though you have been driving in Nigeria for about 5 or 10, 20 years before you came to UK, the moment you pass your driving test and you get your UK license, what happens? You find out that your insurance for that first year will go up. Why is it going up? Why are they not looking at you and say, wow, but I've been driving in Nigeria for almost 20 years, and because of that, my insurance should go down? No. Why? Because as far as they are concerned, in the UK, they see you as a new driver. The number of years you accumulate on your driving on your driving license over time start having great impact on reducing what you are paying as insurance. So it's not so much of how long you've been driving in Nigeria, but in this system, they need to pay attention and look at, okay, how long have you been on your license? How long have you not had claim? So all these factors overall has major impact on your driving, on your insurance. I say that to explain that in this country, the moment you enter in and you cross Heathrow Airport or Gatwick, depending on where you entered UK from, you entered and your your credit reporting was a blank slate. It was a blank slate. Nobody knew you. And this system runs by credit, right? Nobody knew you, so nobody would know that, okay, if we give you money, this is how trusted you are. We are rest assured that if this person get money from us, it no go run away. So you become a risk person if they would have to give you anything from there. So because of that, so that they can understand who you are and understand how your financial lifestyle is, they start paying attention to some data. Those data over time accumulated to determine your credit rating, to determine how financially viable you are, how dependable you are as a person. That is all this thing is about. So all this information are tracked from several points to determine what your credit report is. So your score is just a number, but what is more important is what is in your day-to-day, year-to-year, month-to-month credit report. So you can have a credit rating, that a credit score that is high, and still you will not get a good credit. For instance, you want to buy house mortgage, you might have a good credit score and still will not be able to get a good mortgage. So you find out that that number is just a number for identification. And I heard from somebody, I'm not sure how true it is. The person worked in the rating agency and said very soon they might even scrap that thing called credit score. Why? Because if, for instance, if you don't do mortgage before, what they ask for is not your credit score. What they ask for is for your credit report. They want to look at how have you been responding to your bills. Have you borrowed money before? How have you been handling it? So you find out that there is actually a bigger picture than just a credit score. And by extension, I say that to make you understand that there are several things that have bigger impact on your credit rating than a credit card. So I'm saying that a credit card can increase your credit rating, but at the same time, you don't need a credit card to increase your credit rating. So today we'll be talking about how can I improve my credit rating, or what are the things I need to put in place if I do it can help me improve my credit rating. Now, if you are in the UK for the first time and you are listening to me, I want to clap for you because they start on the right track. So you will not end up making several mistakes that will burn you later. Why? Because you are understanding what you can do to use to build a good credit standing in this country, so that when you need it later in the future, it's working for you. Now, we must understand that in this country, there are three major credit rating or credit reporting agency or reference agency. We call them credit reference agency. The three of them are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So every place, anything you want to do in this country, all of them are taking reference about you from a financial point of view from one of these three credit agencies. So some of them take your reports from Equifax, some of them take your reports from Experian, while some of them take your reports from TransUnion. So whatever is written about you in these three credit referencing agency would influence the kind of decision they made or they will make about you, as regards whatever financially you want to do. So you must understand that these three of them are something that is written about you from a reporting point of view. But unfortunately, many of us don't even know what is written in our reports. Many of us have not seen our credit reports before to know if there is something that was wrongly recorded against our name. So unfortunately, we are carrying it for years. I heard about the story of a lady who had been denied mortgage for a long period of time, and she was denied back to back. Why? And until one day she met a good mortgage advisor, and the person really scrutinized her credit report and discovered that there was this internet bill about 4 or 5 years ago that was written against her, that she was still owing them 18 pounds. And you know the way this internet company do, when you move from that house to another house, because you did not tell them, they will keep sending letter to that house again and again. You know the house you are living now, you know, say you still they see letter from the former occupant. You know, so imagine such a thing has been happening from years to years, and to her own best understanding, she had cleared it. But because she did not know that that thing was still on it, trust me, because of 10 pounds where you they owe, some mortgage company, lender, no go give you good mortgage. So you must get to understand what is in your report. So your first assignment is to go and check your report and know what is in your report. So how can you get it? Number one, Xperia, for instance. Xperia will give you a free 30 days. No, they have a free, yeah, they have a free feature whereby you can get your report from Xperia once every month. They give you what is in your report once every month. So if anything changes in your report, you can get it. Just go to Xperia and you can register with them for free and get it. For Equifax will give you a free 30 days trial so that you can know what is in your report as well. For TransUnion, most of the time, depending on the bank, for instance, I use Lloyd. So Lloyd use TransUnion to check and to give me a report about my credit. So for TransUnion, for instance, I get that update from Lloyd's. You know, so there are different ways in which you can get it. Even Credit Karma, Credit Karma, Karma is a beach. Credit Karma can also give you information about your credit report. Guys, ignorance in this country is not an advantage. What you don't know sometimes can be the thing that will work against you when it comes to credit rating and your credit standing here in the UK. So it's important for you to go and download those things and see what is written on you. Another company that can help you give information, for instance, ClearScore. ClearScore is another app that gives you information about your Equifax rating. If you use Lemfi, I've just seen that Lemfi has also added it a feature. On your Lemfi, you can see your credit rating. Whatever Equifax is recording against your name, you can see it on Lemfi as well. So all these things are there for you for free, you know, so that you can at least know what is written against your name, so that you don't think you have paid that in, while according to rating, it is written there that you are still owing or you have not settled it. Guys, you'll be shocked at how some small things can mess up. I'll share my own story also in between this thing and tell you how we lost an opportunity to get a good mortgage because of a payment which was not my fault. It was the fault of Virgin Media. But because it was written in my report, whoever wants to borrow me money will look at that document, and that is what they will be using to make decisions about me. So you can see that credit score or credit card is just one of the several things that has a big impact on your credit reports. If you use Monzo, there's this feature on Monzo, it's called Extra. Thank you, English teacher. I appreciate you. English is not my dialect. I'm a Nigerian and a Yoruba. So sometimes you can even hear value. That one you won't correct, it go pay you well, you get plenty work to do. But let me continue. All right. So if you use Monzo, for instance, on Monzo has a feature whereby you can get to see both your what do I want to say now? On Monzo, you can see both your before now you can see Xperia reporting on it, but on Monzo now you can see Equifax and you can see TransUnion straight away. You can see what your Equifax is reporting against you. You can see what your TransUnion is reporting against you on Monzo. It's called Extra. It's a feature on Monzo called Extra. For instance, somebody did a soft check on me. Immediately, Monzo notified me that a soft check has been done on me. When we wanted to get our mortgage from Barclay and a hard check was done, immediately Monzo notified me that hard check has been done against my credit reference. So for me, it gives me that instant no. And how much is it? It is just £3 every month. That is all I pay. But it helps me to track and to know this thing so that something does not accumulate over time. And I'm now bearing the brunt of something that I could have been informed about. In this country, you must be informed of your financial state. You must be on top of it. Nobody is responsible to come and help you. So this country, if you were relaxed and very has this lackadaisical attitude about your financial report back in Nigeria or back in Cameroon, Ghana, where you're coming from, now when you get to this country, you will see people get into debt they don't have any business getting into because they don't pay attention to the numbers. So let's move into what are the things that really affect and influence your credit rating here in the United Kingdom. Guys, if you are joining me for the first time, my name is Jideneye, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok. And I like talking to people of my color especially, so that we can get the information that gives us the financial advantage in this country. Why? Because ignorance is never a strategy. So what are the factors? Number one is what we call the electoral rule or electoral registration rule. For instance, in this country, unlike Nigeria, this country, as long as you are a resident of this country, you have every legal right to vote in this country. So what you do is the moment you enter this country, if you have done it before or you have not done it before, just go on Google and type electoral roll registration. You will see the link from .gov. Register on it so that it can, you think it's just all about voting. No, but this is one thing it tells everybody who is referencing you. It helps them to track where you are staying in this country. Why? Because why would I, Ada, give money or borrow Jide money that I don't know how long he has been in this country? I cannot track where he is staying. So electoral roll registration is more than good evening. How are you there? Is more than just for voting. It is used by many financial lending agencies to track your stay in this country. So it is very free, but I've discovered that every of these referencing agency depend on that information. For instance, good evening, BC. Where I stayed, the first place we landed in the UK, we registered it. The second place we stayed, we registered it. The third place we stayed, we registered it. And you can discover that all the places you have ever stayed in this country, there is something written to your name on your credit reporting, giving them information of where you stayed. So as a lender, what it means for me is this person, Ore, how are you doing there? This person has been around for so time, number one. And number two, I can easily track this person so that I don't go borrow money and long story go enter. Why? Because I don't know where I stay. So you can see how important that information is. That electoral roll registration. If you've not done it, just write it down. Google it when we are done. Register it. It will link you to where your council is, where you are staying, and you will register it under your council region. Another mistake which I've seen that many people do with electoral roll registration is when they move from one location. For instance, you were staying in Luton and now you have moved to Liverpool, which are in two different council center area. But unfortunately, the first registration they did was the last one they did. So, but now they are living in Liverpool. So when you want to, for instance, do you know that even when you buy a SIM and you are renting an apartment, hope you know that a reference check was done against you. You don't know. You want to buy SIM or you want to buy a contract package. That's what I mean now. Do you know that a soft reference check was done against you? So imagine you were registering for that thing and you put Liverpool as your own residence, but the last electoral registrar that you updated was showing that you stayed in Luton. Can you see that there's already discrepancy? And in this country, one small discrepancy is already making them light torchlight on your life. Waiting no suppose bring torchlight. They already bring torchlight. So you find that in this country, consistency matter. So if you are moving from one location to another location, go back to Google and type electoral roll registration or update, just write registration, it go take you to the one wey dey your council. The council go ask you to know, did you just move in or you've been living here for, so that you can have the up-to-date residential detail of you on all your referencing or all the referencing agency. So that one is a very critical one. I have seen when I was checking some of my referencing, I think was with TransUnion, and TransUnion said, do you know that if you update your electoral roll registration, it can move up your points, your credit score, your points by up to almost 20 points. Why? Because it's a critical thing that gives them a good information of where you stay. Can you see that it's more than just credit card? So that is number one. Update, register, and update your electoral roll registration. It is beyond just voting. It's a major tool or major feature on your financial reports. Very important. The second one is pay your bills on time. Guys, this one, many of us, they do them, and we they do them to our disadvantage. I go explain right now. Anything that you have set up a direct debit for, anything that you have set up a direct debit for, council tax, water bill, some of you have energy bill on direct debit, some of you have your phone contract direct debit, you have your internet bill on direct debit, so you have most of your expenses on direct debit. Do you know that when that thing fails, for instance, they need to withdraw money from your account and they no see money, and it's past the number of times they go try them, do you know that that thing is and can be reported on your rating? Do you know that thing can be reported on your credit report? And you know what that is telling? It's telling anybody who checks that reference, maybe you want to borrow money later, it's already telling them that this person seems not to be able to take care of his life financially. Guys, every decision you are making financially has an interpretation to your credit reference or your credit reporting. So paying your bills on time is a very major thing for you. Why? Please and please, this is why budgeting and keeping tabs with all your expenses is important in this country. There was one that happened to me when we were back in Luton. I don't know how that thing skipped me. It was water bill. I think what happened was about it was not even up to 30 pounds, I guess then. But I missed that payment first month. I missed that payment second month. I missed that payment third month. Do you know that that thing was reported to the reference agency, and it will be there haunting me for the next 12 months. So if I want to borrow anything, they would see it there that in the past 12 months, this guy has missed a payment. Even if now once or twice, this guy has missed a payment. It is not to your advantage if that thing is written. And this is the second mistake many of us make. Avoid arranged payment as much as possible. What is arranged payment? Somebody would ask. In this country, if you dey owe light, they no go come your house. No be like PATN for Nigeria, we go come cut am. They might not cut it, so you might be there for 2 months, 3 months. When they notice that the bill has piled up to a critical point, that's when you start hearing them calling you. So most of them, they might not even call you that you have not paid your payment. Only thing, you will just get an email and you still be enjoying life. You say, this country good though. But guys, you don't understand what that means to your own reports, to your rating. You don't know what that means. So what is arranged payment? I remember back then in Luton also, this thing, Luton, I learned many things that place. Luton, this happened to me whereby we were using our land, for instance, our energy. We were using our landlord's account to make payment then. I never knew that I had to create my own energy account. So we're using the landlord's account. But unfortunately, it is our name that has been given to the energy company that we are the one living in the property now. So the energy company every month cannot see me paying anything, even though the landlord was the one paying it. So in between, I now discover, say, this company, they call me, say, we know they pay, we they owe. So because of that, what did I do? I called and said, I have to open my own account, that I cannot use the landlord's account. I said, okay, beautiful. Please, can we transfer all the money we have paid in the landlord's to our own account? Unfortunately, the landlord was owing, before we moved in, over about £200 that was owing in debt. So whatever they could move, they could not move beyond that £200. It's now left for the landlord to either give me the £200 so that I can add it to my own account now, or I will be owing the energy company £200. But unfortunately, my landlord was saying, no, no, we need to drag this thing, that it was not owing them. It was not owing them, but not me. The reference said they owe them debt. So you know what the company said after a while? They said, okay, we know you are experiencing a challenge with your finance in this regard. Okay, can we create a payment system? How much can you be paying every month? Guys, that statement na trap, no be your best. So if they call you and they say, please, if you are experiencing some financial challenge, all right, so let's know, can we create a payment plan so that we can clear this again and again? Guys, that thing will be recorded on your report that at a point in time, Mr. XYZ was not able to meet up with his important payment for his energy bill. Hence, we needed to create a payment plan for him. And you know what that is saying about you as regards your report? It's saying that this guy is not enough financially to take care of his bills. All those things are not positive to you. They are counting against you at the long run. So you see why those arrange for me. I go rather go borrow money from Chikozi, pay that money completely, than creating an arrangement payment that will record on my report with my energy company. So make sure as much as possible, avoid all these arranged payments. You see why you must budget and be able to meet up with your bills. Why? Because small, the mess don't dey spoil yash. Small. So you think that to your benefit, but you don't know at the long run. Imagine when you now need it, when you are now stable and you need it. Those things are now showing on your report that there was a time you were owing energy company, you were owing water company, and you created a payment plan. You know, it's so funny that don't let me jump. So let me take it. That's number one about this paying of your bills. The second thing is, please, when you move from a property, close your bill properly. I don't know if you have noticed, or me, I still saw it. The person who was staying in this house before now, we saw energy bill being sent for somebody who has stayed in this house long ago, more than 6 months ago. They send in energy bills, the amount where still they owe. They still send them to us in this house. To him, he might even say he's not owing again. But you know that whatever has been reported that you are owing and has been transferred to the referencing agency is what is written against you. So when you are moving from one property, for instance, the only thing that is important to you is not your down deposits. Not only your deposit, now in the important. Thank God there's no even deposit again now with the new rental rules. That's not the only thing that is important. You have to call your council. Tell them you will be moving out on so dates. You call your energy company. Tell them you'll be moving out on so date. You call your water company. Tell them you'll be moving out on so dates. You call your internet company. Tell them when you will be moving out. Why? Because to you, you might feel you are not owing. But on their own end there, it might be recorded that this guy was still owing us this amount. So you need to make sure both of you are able to reconcile the accounts and make sure you are not owing. And please, when they tell you you are not owing, don't say well and that is over. You have every right to tell them, please, can you send me an email to the closure of this account? Why? Because in this country, if it is not written, it never existed. So you tell them, please, can you send me an email to admit or to let me know that this account has been properly closed without me owing? Yes, if you don't ask them to, if you know owe, they go still report them to the referencing agency you know owe. But there are some people, they get coin for head. I don't know how they are. It's when I entered this country, I found out that there are still some companies in this country that are not professional. I'm sorry to say. They are just not professional. So when you are moving out, make sure you do all those things properly. Make sure you have a documented email trail to show that this thing was properly closed. Your internet company, tell them, I am moving. Oh, when I am moving, oh, do you want to keep using us at the other end? If your answer is no, close it properly. Close it to that house where you were staying properly before you leave, so that in the future you no go dey touch stock story way hot. So you see that if you don't just credit card, your bills matter. Another one which I noticed that we Africans are not really taking advantage of, but we do it regularly, is our house rent. Do you know your house rent is never written on your credit report to your own advantage? But unfortunately, that's the biggest amount you are paying every month. And many of us Africans are very consistent with it. If we they owe anything, we know they owe house rent. But unfortunately, it's not working to your advantage from a credit reporting point of view. Why? Because most of our house rent payments, they are not on direct debit. They are on standing order. They are not on direct debit. They are on standing order. So you are the one that will say on so day, this amount should be sent to the agent's number or the landlord's number, bank account that was given to you. But unfortunately, that thing is not recorded on your report, even though you are diligent and faithful at paying it. But there is a way in which you can get that information into your report, and it is through creditladder.co.uk. Creditladder.co.uk. Somebody should type it so I can pin it. Creditladder.co.uk help you to go into your bank account and pick every time you have paid for house rent, and you yourself will tell them which of these agency do you want them to report it to. For instance, they have a free version. The free version will only report to one of the rating agency. So it will either report to Xperia, report to, thank you so much, my brother, report to Xperia, either report to TransUnion or Equifax. I will always recommend, make sure it is reporting more to TransUnion. So when you go to creditladder.co.uk, they will ask you if you want to do a free one. So you click on it. They will tell you to connect the bank whereby your house rent is moving from. You understand? They will connect it. They will start pulling every time you make that payment. They will pull it and report it to that agency you chose. Choose TransUnion. Why? Because many of these lending bodies, they use TransUnion more than Xperia. Xperia are not just marketing they get. They use TransUnion more, from what I have discovered. So you now discover that what you have been paying, diligently for the past 2 years you have been in the UK is not even working towards your credit report. It's not. But you have been diligent to make sure say that money no fail. But now you can leverage it to your advantage by going to creditladder.co.uk and register. And they have another paid version, I think it's £5, I'm not sure, per month, whereby it can report to the 3 agency. It will report to the 3 referencing agency for you. So this is it about bills. Another thing which I notice many people they do. They say direct debit, you can stop it anyhow. You don't want the direct debit to be paid again. You will just block them from your account. Guys, now you block them from your account, no means they don't stop them from the other end. That is why if you set up any direct debit, even if you want to stop it, you have every right to call the company where the payment was set up on direct debit. That okay, especially for energy, that okay, I want to opt out of direct debit and I'll be doing manual payments every time. Why? It no mean say you go just up and say bam, you go block them from direct debit and you think say you don't go. As far as they are concerned, this money was meant to be moved from your account towards a payment and it failed. Hence, they can report it on the referencing that this guy is failing. Can you see that credit reporting or credit rating is more than just credit card? So we've spoken about 2 points now. Number 1 is the electoral register. Number 2, pay your bills on time. This third one now for my credit card gang. I say make I greet you now. Please and please avoid, I use this one, avoid going to a credit company website directly to apply for credit card, especially when you are not sure if you are eligible and they go approve that your credit card. Why? Because there are some kind of check that they do on you. There's what we call the soft check. There's something we call the hard check. The soft check has no impact on your rating, but the hard check has a major impact on your rating. If you want to get a credit card in this country, they go fire you hard check. So imagine me going to America Express and I apply for credit card, and America Express did all their due diligence and their check, and they fire me at check. But unfortunately, they tell me, say, based on my financial situation and all the thing where they don't analyze for my report, say I am not qualified to get it. They have done at check on me. I have not gotten it, but something has been written against my report negatively. At check has a major impact on your report than soft check. So instead of going to this lending or this credit company directly, use what we call an eligibility checker website. Compare the Market is an eligibility checker website. We have confused.com. You can use it. So just go to Compare the Market, even though I still don't know why you won't get credit card, but at least make I tell you before you go dip your hand negative. So you can go to Compare the Market. Many of us only use Compare the Market to when we want to check for insurance and get the cheapest insurance. It's an eligibility checker. So you can go there, go to their lending or their credit facility part on top of their website. They go take in all your all your information, the same information that the credit company will take. They will take all those information from you. But you know what they do? They will take that information because they have affiliation with most of these lending agencies. They will be able to look at your data as against what that company or each of these lending agency would require, so that they can check and be sure if you are qualified first before you go ahead and apply. So a soft check will rather be done on you as compared to when you go directly to the website of all these companies and they'll fire you hard check. So can you see that it's important for you to know how to go about this credit thing also, so that you know go the hammer hard check on top of your reports all the time? That's number one. Number two about this credit thing is, please, if you apply for a credit card and you were denied, please, within the next 6 months, make sure you are not applying for another one. The moment you apply and you deny, and within 6 months you are applying for another one, what it is saying is that you don't have that financial capacity to take care of your day-to-day life. Hence, you need a credit card urgently to augment your life. That is what is saying to the lending company. Why? Because it will be recorded every time, everywhere you applied for a credit facility. It will be in your report. So somebody that is applying for credit facility every 2 months or every AK market, if I am a lending company, do you think I'll give that person a better rate compared to somebody who is showing that he is not depending so much on credit? So the advice is to ensure that between when you apply and the next time you apply, make sure that there's a minimum of 6 months interval. 6 months interval, minimum of 6 months interval, so that it doesn't send a signal or a message that this guy is depending on credit again and again and again and again and again. So that's the second thing about credit. The third thing about credit is, please, because they gave you £1,000 in your credit card and overdraft, does not mean you should max it out. This one, many people ignorantly fall into it and say, but I can pay it back now. So they use it and they pay it back. They use it and so they give you £1,000. You blow the £1,000 in the month. Before the next statement coming out, you return it back. So you have returned it, but there is something it is saying. Please, you must understand that your credit report have a voice. It is speaking about you. And unfortunately, where it is speaking about you, you will not go there to explain entire. So if me want to borrow you money and I can see that they gave you £1,000 and you blow the entire £1,000 in your credit, what it is telling them, or what is telling, is the fact that this guy is depending so much on credit. And to me as a lender, it's showing me that this guy has a very high risk to me as a lender. So in as much as I want to borrow money, but I want to borrow my money to somebody whom I am sure say he go pay back when it matters most. So what is the recommendation? Please don't use more than 25% on your credit card at every month. Even when me, I know the advice say, why you even need them? To need them means say they tell you already, say life never settle. Do you understand? So don't use more than 25%. Because some people say, me, I got coconut and I go still use. I believe I've been able to help somebody in that regard, especially those who have been using credit card. Don't use more than 25%, which simply is telling you that you are a LD credit user. Your lifestyle is not heavily dependent on credit. That is what it is saying. So I've said 3 things about credit. Number 1, don't apply directly. Use an eligibility checker to check if you are eligible first before they wire you ad check. Number 2, make sure the interval between one application and the other application is a minimum of 6 months, so that it's not sending a signal of this guy needs credit at all costs. Number 3, make sure that 25% of it is not what you are not using more than. Oh guys, TikTok is saying we are not engaging here. So they've told me that this live stream will end in the next 5 minutes. What does it mean to engage? When you enter, me, I know say you they enjoy or you they learn from what you they hear. But as far as TikTok concerned, there is no coin, there is no tapping, there is no comments. All these things to them means that there is no engagement. So why would they keep this streaming for 54 people and they are all listening as if they watch TV? They don't forget it's in our social media. I know you are learning, but as far as TikTok is concerned, engagement matters. Guys, beyond dropping that road, just drop this at me. Show them that you are in that community. Just drop this at me now, like the equivalent of 1 coin. You understand? So that TikTok no go, they send us all the immediately TikTok talk this thing again. Now go just close the live stream, go rest, we go continue tomorrow. So I don't need the coin. I'm not asking for it. That's why you already see me ask for coin. Thank you so much, Miss T. I would rather recommend just drop this at me. Click on that love sign beside my name and drop that at me. And if you are not following me, click the plus sign and follow me so that you know go they miss information like this. And they tell people if you are not following me, there's every tendency you are losing money. Why? Because you'll not be hearing things that will help you take the right posture as regards your finance. Thank you to everyone who just followed. Welcome. This will be one of the best place you would ever be, because anything and everything that has to do with finance, you would hear it as it is. Nothing will be sugar coated. You will hear it as it is. Thank you so much for that engagement. So how do you tap? Just keep tapping my forehead. I know say no be me cause your problem, but just the tap am because of TikTok. I beg. All right, so let me continue the conversation. No, that is my second account, guys. AB is my Dad Chilene Digital Premier is my second account. All right, so let me continue my conversation now. So for those who are still going into credit, that is how you ensure that you don't get yourself into trouble, all in the name of credit card. And when we say your credit usage, please, it's not only credit card. Credit facility includes overdraft and your credit card. That is the total available credit you have. So they are saying in cumulatively, you should not be using more than 25%. And please, don't let your credit card repayment fail. It's not to your advantage. Your repayments, especially the minimum amounts, don't let it fail. It is not to your advantage. Why? Because it will be reported against you. It is not to your advantage. Guys, like I said, please go and download your credit report and at least know where you are, so that before story that touches start coming up later in the future when you want to buy mortgage, know where you are and know what you need to correct early. So you can see that people when they tell you say you need a credit card to build your credit score, they tell you one of out of 7 or 8 things that has impact on your credit reporting. Can you see that it's not about credit score, it's about your credit rating, your credit reporting, your credit lifestyle. That is what is being tracked back to back. Now, the next thing which you need to ensure that you do with this your credit rating journey is the fact that please avoid opening accounts and closing it in a short term. That means they expect you to use okay, I've not mentioned this. For instance, where you stay as a major way, it could also impact or increase your credit rating. Okay, the way it really majorly impacts your credit rating is if you stay in a place for a minimum of 2 years, it tells them that you are stable. So it talks about stability. So that also has a way of adding some few points to your credit rating. I just say make I say that one as I remember. Now back to what I'm saying. Please, some of you, you know this thing now. Many of you don't do it, and you have an account with Monzo. Suddenly you see NatWest saying, move your current account to us and get free £200. You say, Kai, see opportunity for free £200. Immediately you wire that thing, you open and you want to move, but you don't know what that is saying about your report. In this country, they like boring life.
Playing from Blessed.
Don't disturb us. In this country, they like boring life when it comes to finance. The more boring and, what do I call it now? Monotonous, back to back, a monotonous way of living you are financially in this country, the more they see you as a reliable and a credible person. So if they see accounts that you have been using for 4 or 5 years, it says a lot about you that you are a stable person. But you open this account, bam, within 2 months or 1 year, you don't close and move your account to another place because you won't get £200. For every time you do that, it is written in your report. And what it is saying that this guy is moving from here to there. It doesn't speak stability. You guys, some of us no go understand this thing until you won't get mortgage. Mortgage is beyond I can afford it. In this country, it is beyond I can afford it. Mortgage has a lot to do to look at your lifestyle and say, is there one decision that you can make that can send a red signal that can alter everything and by extension affect what we are borrowing you? So in this country, do you know that even for mortgage, for instance, you they work and where you they work, they pay you £40,000 per year, right? And within the process of getting your mortgage, you never fully get your mortgage, but you don't get that paper agreement in principle, number one, and number two, the mortgage company, either a bank, has agreed that they will give you. So you are in the process of why you have gotten the lender to say they will give you, and the process of finishing the paperwork. You now see another job within that process that says that, wow, that new job will be paying you £70,000. And because of that, you move. You never complete your mortgage process. You move from that £40,000 to a £70,000 job. Do you know that the company who won't borrow you money can withdraw that mortgage offer? For me, it don't make sense. Why? Because it shows that I can earn more. But to them, it is saying that they cannot see your pay slip for the past 3 months in this new company. How are they sure that they will keep you beyond probation? So because of that, they are looking at you like this guy looks like there is nothing stable about you. When I say you have to live a boring life during that period, it's very important too. Why? Because they like stability. They like consistently. They like early payments. This person is on top of his finance. They like all those things. So one of my friends made that mistake. His wife leave in job during that process and moved to a bigger job. Do you know that the mortgage company first said they are withdrawing, even though they've given you that paper that they are willing to offer you beyond the agreement in principle? Now you have gotten your mortgage letter. You understand? But they withdrew it because in between there's something that has changed in your lifestyle. And they don't have data to show that this new change in your lifestyle is going to be consistent. So you find out that all this information has a way to play in your life. All this information about your report is not hidden. They can see everything. It is not hidden. So back to my conversation, make sure that you have accounts. You don't close accounts every now and then. You leave it consistently. This thing shows that this person is here to stay and is viable and reliable. The next thing that has an impact on your account, on your report, not directly, indirectly, is affiliation or association. By association now, remember when you want borrow house, when you want rent house rather, you went to the agency that you want to rent house. They will ask you one critical question. The critical question is, how many adults above the age of 18 will be staying in this house? So if you say me and my husband or me and my wife will be staying in this house and we are above 18, by law you are required to register and document down the name of everybody that will be staying above 18. Number one. Number two, you will notice that over time they would want that agreement for tenancy to be in the name of Mr. and Mrs. Most of the time, they will want it to be in the name of Mr. and Mrs. for the house where you rent. Now, how does that tie you in? When that is recorded, they will send that information to council. That same information will go to council that Mr. and Mrs. A has rented this house. That same information that went to council would also go to most of your utility company that Mr. and Mrs. A are renting this house. And by extension, because your utility companies are getting it, it would also be referenced on your report that Mr. and Mrs. A are responsible for this utility bill payment. So by doing that, by association, it has connected you together. That will not affect your report directly. But if you want to do something like mortgage, for instance, because you have another person who is associated by you financially, the mortgage company will want to pay attention to what is the financial state of that person so that that person does not become a liability on you, that will become a liability on the offer that they are giving you in the long run. So by association, that person has a major way of implicating you. You see why for me, for instance, me and my wife are the CR report. We know 1 year story that touch that, sorry, I forgot to make that payment of that outstanding direct debit for the past 2 months. I reached out to them. They did not answer. So they did not clear it first month, second month. Since they did not stop disturbing me too, I just say I should leave it. And that is written on our report. So because of that, that would have a negative impact on me and on us if we are both the one borrowing for that mortgage. So it's important, husband, pay attention to wetin your wife they do. Wife, pay attention to wetin your husband they do. That's why if you cannot work as a team in this country, number one, coming from Nigeria, the world is life is leading you like 4-0 because you are starting from the scratch. Two of you now not working as a team. Life and everything around you is already leading you by almost 7-0. We have seen situations whereby the wife is responsible financially, does not get debt, does not get into loan, but the husband, because he also feels he has a life of his own. But you see that the financial prudence is not there. And when the wife now want to get mortgage, you find out that the impact of the husband's deficiency financially is now having an impact on you. So by association, it can also has an impact, not directly, but indirectly when you want to lend for some things. And please, I talk mortgage a lot. Why? Because mortgage is one of the biggest loan you would ever enter into in your life in a foreign country. So by association, what your wife or your husband, how they are faring financially on their mortgage has a way of implicating you. So imagine somebody will suppose get a mortgage offer of about 4.5, but because of those negative impacts, the lender is saying, no, we cannot give you, but we can get a broker is telling you we can get another person that is willing to borrow you at 6.2. Do you know what it means to pay 6.2 for 23 years? So you see why this information, as small as they sound, they has a great implication on you. Guys, credit card is one of the few ways, in fact, is one of the least way that you can have major impact of improvement on your credit report. So you see that by association, that also can affect you, not directly, but indirectly. In terms of, would I say you will not get a mortgage? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying getting a better deal. This country would rather give a guy whose life is boring, but his financial book is straight. They would rather give him a better deal than giving somebody who is trying to do Ozu culture. In the name of that, he is putting his hand into many things, and everywhere on his reports look messy, as if now palm oil they pour on top. He might get it straight later, but those record, most of it, I'm not sure if I can remember again. Whatever is written on your credit report, most of the time can stay for as much as more than 6 months, almost 3 years. It can stay on your report. So it happened year 1, you got it right in year 2, but because that thing will stay for almost 3 to 6 years, that thing can keep haunting you. You see why setting this thing right matters from the very get-go than trying to patch it and get it right at the end. Just get the information and know it. Thank you so much for that. Now, the next thing that you must make sure as much as possible is not written against you is to have a CCJ. CCJ is county court judgment. What does it mean? For instance, some people say they cannot send you out of the house. You have legal rights in this country. Shebi na court, we go to court. No mind them, we go to court. Because we know our right in this country, so you now went to court, and the court later found out that you were the one owing. They later found out, or they had to use bailiff to come and pursue you to collect money for the car where you know if you pay again. Or they use bailiff to collect something that you borrowed or you bought. Those credit recovery agency, they use those things to come and meet you, whereby they have to go to a magistrate to sign it in the court, and it's written on your name. Guys, that thing will be on your report. It will be on your report. And you know what that thing is saying? It's saying that this guy does not have an healthy financial lifestyle. Yeah, is there a way they can help you clean it? I've heard about the way they can help you clean it, but me, I don't even want to get that, not to talk of cleaning it. So I'd rather have an healthy financial lifestyle than trying to see how I can clean it later. So please avoid that. Then this last one is one thing that many of us make mistake about ignorantly. Do you know that if somebody sends money to your account and they later track that the money that was sent to your account, that the person who sent it used another person's account or card illegally to withdraw or to send the money to you, the fact that that money coming from that first point was a crime money, but it landed in your account, do you know that that thing can get you into trouble here in the UK? Number one, because of that, do you know they can close all your bank accounts on all these high street bank, Barclays, Lloyds, and all the likes? They can practically close all your accounts here in the UK. So you get friend with the UK. He say in brother they in Italy, not Italy, Italy. Say he won't send money to you so that you go help him exchange them, so that you go pay in school fee. So you be the good Samaritan. You give them your account number. They forward the money, but unknown to you, the money na fraud money. The money enter your account. You give your friend use and clear. Later they trace through investigation that the money will come your account na fraud money. Your own good is now working. I have known people where this thing don't affect. In fact, I almost experienced one. And this is where I'll talk to people who are doing digital products and are giving people their account number to pay. People you are giving account number that you are not sure where the money is coming from. You are offering service. You are not giving them your company accounts because you don't want to pay tax. You are giving them your personal account. They should write it as appreciation. So what they are writing there is appreciation, not payment for XYZ. But unfortunately, you don't know that the guy went to use somebody's account fraudulently. If the person goes and reports to the bank that somebody used my money without my permission, number one, your bank will first retrieve the money first. After retrieving the money and they investigate and they see say the money na fraud money truly, that your account is going into deep shit. You see how you, when you dey try to help people in a right way, can get into trouble. I teach people how to invest, for instance, and I have a course. You will never see me giving you my account number that pay into my account. Why? One of them happened one of these days. It has happened twice. Why somebody picked another person's card and used the card to buy course on my own page, bought a course. But because I use Stripe, for instance, Stripe alerted me that this account payment is most likely a fraudulent account, a fraudulent payment. Why? It told me that this card is a Monzo card owned by somebody in the UK, but it was used in Dubai. Do you know that they had to retrieve the money because the person where they use in card later was able to alert his bank that a payment went out of his card, and because of that they withdraw the money from my own Stripe account. But imagine if that money had gone directly into my own bank account. That one na story wey go dey touch, I go dey talk. So please avoid fraud alerts on your account. Avoid am like plague. Somebody go come say, so who go come dey give our how we sure say the people wey we dey give our account number to they are right? For me, if you are doing business, do it the right way. All this cutting corner, if he no catch you in year 1, year 2, if he catch you for year 3, it go be like saying you don't do it for several years ago. So do it the legal way. If I am offering a digital service, use Stanstore, use Bitcoin, use Stripe, use Cool.com, use those medium. Why? Because they have fraud detecting facility or feature within their system. And because the money does not come to you directly, if there's any fraud, it is easy for them to retrieve it easily without it affecting your card or affecting your account rather. So avoid all those fraud payments entering into your card. People where you know trust, even family gone, they defraud people. Not to talk of somebody where you just see on TikTok, you don't wire them account number, say you can send the money here. All of them now when they do ajo thrift, please be careful. Ajo, be careful. Your account number now the central bank where everybody they put money. Make sure you are only doing it with people you can trust. Be careful. Somebody say, what about my business account? It's a business account. A business is a limited liability entity. It is different from you. Anything that happens to the business only affects the business, does not affect you directly. So if anything is on the business, it is not on you. Do you understand? So that's the difference between these two things. Thank you so much, bro. So these are the following things that has major impact on your credit report here in this country. Credit in this country is not about there's plenty money, let me use it anyhow. Credit reporting in this country is about how you interact with credit, how credible they see you, how stable your life is showing them that this guy is stable from a credit point of view. So credit in this country is more than a score. It is your reports. It is what you are doing day to day, what is happening in your life day to day. Some people don't know, say Klarna, they report am for your credit reports. So you are willing to pay, buy now, pay later. I remember when we want to do mortgage, I don't do many bad things for my reports back. When we wanted to do mortgage, and they told me to bring my reports, my credit reports. My mortgage advisor said I should bring my credit reports so that they can check ahead. Before the bank start questioning, they can know the right question, the right information to give the bank. When I gave her my credit report, and she saw Klarna, about 13 or 14 or even 15 usage of Klarna within 3 months, Klarna back to back. She asked me a question and said she has to ask me now before the bank asks, are you using this Klarna because you don't have the money to pay it? Or it's because it's just an easy system of payments whereby you can easily pay later? Wetin you expect me to talk? You expect me to say I no get the money to pay? It is written on your report. So it's sending a signal that why is this guy using Klarna again and again and again? Is it that he doesn't have the financial might to buy the things or to live on that expense? So hence he needs to depend on Klarna. Guys, with these few points of mine, I believe I've been able to bring it to rest that beyond credit card, there are several other factors that has major impact on your credit rating in this country. If there is anything you must have up-to-date information about, it is what is written against your name in your credit report. Now, I also like to mention it. There's this particular website that I use. It gives me the information of the 3 reports together in one. It's called checkmyfile.com. It's not an app. Checkmyfile.com. It will give you all what Equifax, all what is reported on Clear, on Xperia, and what is reported on TransUnion. It will give you all the information back to back. It will tell you that this particular energy bill reports to TransUnion. This one reports to Equifax. This one reports to Xperia. You will see all those information back to back on your credit report. Many a times, many of us just wait until when we want to get mortgage before we can use Check My File. You know what I like Check My File? Check My File will give you a 30 days free trial. So many a times, I usually say, if you are not ready to pay now, go there, register, use it for free, download the current recent report you have, so that at least you can see what you are working against or what you are working for earlier. Don't wait until when you want to get mortgage or you want to do big things in your life before you start knowing what is written in your report. It's very important. Me, I like using this extra feature on Monzo. Why? Because it gives me up to date instantly the way they happen. If they do any soft check on me now, Monzo will notify me that these certain companies have done a soft check on me. So for instance, when we want to change our insurance company from one insurance company to another insurance company, hope you know that they will do soft check on you. Monzo will show me all the companies that did soft check. If anyone did hard check, I will also see it. For mortgage purpose, how many months of credit reports do they ask for? Usually, it's not about how many months. Because if I download my credit reports today, it will show them everything that has been happening in my life from the very first day I entered into the UK to the final day when I was applying for the mortgage. Check My File is not an app, it is a website. All right. So it is not about how many months. It is only your pay slip that usually they will ask for 3 months of your pay slip. Or if you are into agency, they might ask for 12 months. If you are into self-employment, they might ask for 2 years, of all those kind of things. So it's important for you to know that when it comes to your report, now everything where you don't do from the beginning where you enter this UK, everything go there inside that report. So there's nothing to hide. Everything is there plainly. All right, let me see another question. I finished everything. I'm just responding to question. Hi, host. I need to discuss something with you. All right, Blossom, send me a message. I will never be the first person to send you a message. Send me a message. I'll be able to discuss it. Can Resolute do the same thing? No, Resolute is not a standard bank yet in the UK. By Resolute, I mean you mean Revolut. I am assuming you mean Revolut. Revolut is not a standard bank here in the UK. They are still standardizing them. So they are not, they don't have any way of reporting or giving you. In fact, Revolut does not appear on your report yet. Revolut does not appear on your report yet. So Revolut does not report anything about you. So Can I chat you up? Yes, Blossom, please, you can chat me. Is it only in the UK? There's a credit reporting agency system also in the US. But what I'm saying is peculiar more to the UK. But you can also pay attention, check online about the one for the US. I'm not sure. Is it safe to allow my bank check my credit report? You don't need to allow them. They check it by themselves. You don't need to allow them. They will check it. They do check it. Why? Because they can have access to it through any of the three referencing agents. Do you know that a soft check is done on you when you are renting property? Do you know when you want to do a contract, a phone contract, do you know a soft check is also done on you? You don't need to tell them or give them approval. By law, legally, they have access to those information and they can check. So there's no need for you to try to tell them or not. Everything care. Now, book of life, it go be. No worry, we go read them together. Can Revolut? I think I have answered the Revolut question. When I have a new permanent job with NHS, where can I get mortgage? This is always the, I'm not talking mortgage today, but let's just say little. This is always the encouragement. If you want to get mortgage, live a consistent financial life for a minimum of 6 months. Minimum. If you want to get mortgage, make sure that you have consistency and stability in your life for a minimum of 6 months. That 6 months, reduce how you use Klarna. That 6 months, make sure there's no failed payments as much as possible. That 6 months, make sure that all your bills are paid regularly. That 6 months, make sure that there is nothing written on your name that has a negative impact on you. That doesn't mean they will not see the ones that have happened before. The reason why I mentioned this 6 months is because most of the time the pay slip they will ask for is within 3 months, depending on if your job is NHS, which is stable. It's not a contract job, it's not a self-employed job. That 3 months pay slip is usually what they ask for. Do you understand? So make sure you have at least 6 months free. For instance, I know people where they use a job, won't use and buy mortgage. It's wrong. But even if you won't do anything like that, any money will enter your account. Make sure, say 6 months. For instance, they will tell you to print out your bank statement. That's another thing I want to say. For at least the past 3 months. Some can ask 1 year if they see that there's no consistency and there's discrepancy, depending on how your salary is paid. For instance, most of the carer, your salary is not usually fixed. It depends on how many hours you do per month. So there is no consistency in this is how much you earn this month as against how much you earn next month. For instance, my wife now, Barclay requested for 6 months pay slip. Why me, that I was working as a digital marketing manager for a logistics firm, they requested for 3 months pay slip. So you can see that's why I usually recommend within 6. But if you can just have a permanent life, just have a good life. That's it. So that you no go get too much question. Very important. I think I've responded to every question. Guys, so you can see now that credit card is what you need to build your credit rating. So go and get credit card. You can see that credit card is the ultimate thing that you need to build your credit rating and your credit score. Information is key. Guys, we've been able to use the past 1 hour, 30 minutes to help structure you from a reporting point of view so that what is written against you out there is done properly and done well. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about another very, very important discussion. Guys, tomorrow you must bring water out because you go swallow water small. We're talking about budgeting and creating a financial management system to your advantage. Can you get more than one credit card? I don't know. I don't know what you want to use and build house. I don't know. I know go answer you. You know why I will not answer you? I will not answer you because I need to ask you why. Why do you need more than one credit card? Why? If you can answer that why, then I can answer you. All right, say thank you for sharing my first time. Oh, welcome, every of my first time. Somebody say not all credit cards are good. I know. For me, this is the lifestyle I live. Why try to smoke when you know that it can also work to your disadvantage? You understand? Why try to smoke when you know it can work to your disadvantage? Except I know and I get proper information. And like I said, please, when you are use credit, please use it to build assets. Don't use it on liabilities. Don't use 23,000 to go and buy a car on finance. It's a poor decision. It's a poor decision. This imagine what you can use 23,000 pounds to do. You are now using it to tie it to one machine called car. You don't have house, you don't have savings, but you have car of 23,000. I say, make I greet you. We listen here, we don't judge. Is it a must that for someone to have a credit card for a mortgage? The answer is a big no. It is never a must, and you don't need a credit card to build or boost your credit rating, and by extension to get a mortgage. Is not compulsory. If you do all these things I have listed, it's going to help you to have a better credit reporting than depending on a credit card. Should I list those things again? Because some people just join, so I'm not explaining from the scratch. How many of them? 10 altogether. If you put all those things in place, you'll be good. Number one, register yourself on the electoral register. How? Go to Google, type electoral roll registration. Once you type it on Google, it will bring out the .gov.uk website. From there, it will redirect you to your council so that you can register it under your council. It's beyond just for voting. It also gives information of this is where this person is staying. So on your referencing agency, they should be able to track where this person has been staying in the past 3 years since he came to the UK. Now, another mistake many people do is if you are moving from one house to another rented house, go back and update it. So if you are moving from one council rather to another council, go and update it. If not, it will tell that you have not been on the electoral register. So many of us, what we will do is, yes, this one came again. Now I will say it. Now, many of us, what we'll do is we'll change our address on our bank accounts. We'll change our address on every other place. Even council is showing that our address has changed. But you will discover on your rating, on your reports, is showing that your address is new. But there's nothing showing on the electoral register that your address is new. So on your report, it's showing that, is this person staying in two places? Electoral register was saying that you are staying in XYZ before, but on your council tax that you are paying or your energy bill is showing that you have moved to PQY. So can you see that there's disparity between where you are staying now and what is on the electoral register? So it's important you always update it so that there is consistency. Very important. That's number two. Pay your bills on time. All these your direct debits where you set up, please make sure say that thing no they fail. It's going consistently. Direct debit is different from standing order. Direct debit was set up by the company that is offering you that service. Standing order is the one you went to your bank and say so time this amount of money should be going out. Should be going out. Guys, sister, let me just clap for you small. But beyond the score, go and check the report. Go and check everything that is written there. But the score is a good sign that something good is there. Do you understand? But beyond the score, make sure you check everything, especially when you have affiliation with another person. Check that one too. Very important. I just say make I mention, but it's a very good sign. Very, very good one. All right. So the next one, like I said, is pay your bills. All those direct debits, make sure it goes out consistently. Very important. Number two, all those arranged payments, please avoid it. What is arranged payment? You could not meet up with your bill. You're welcome, my dear sister. You could not meet up with your bill. Because of that, you called, or the company called you, your energy company called you and say, let us know if you have any financial challenge. We can create a way in which you can be paying the payment in an easy way. Let's know if there's a change in your financial condition. Guys, that statement, no be blessing, no, not trap. Why did I say a trap? It will be recorded in your report that there was an arranged payment that you made. And what does that mean? It is telling any referencing agency or lending body that this guy, during a period of his life, was not capable of handling his finances. Hence, his leg was shaking a little bit. So, if you want to borrow him money, please don't overlook that information. And that information will be there for minimum of 12 months. Any arranged payment will be on your report for a minimum of 12 months. So imagine you don't sort them out in January, but you go still dey carry them as load on top your head till next year January. Minimum, it will be on your report. So please, I always say, be on top of your finance. If you feel you cannot meet up with it, I'd rather go to Chigoza and borrow money to pay than to reach an agreement with the energy company that, please, let's create a payment plan. Chigoza will not report it to a credit agency. The energy company will report it to credit agency. Why? Because those information becomes the footprint determining how I've been living financially in the UK since the day I came. So anything that is on direct debit, make sure you meet up with the payment. Avoid late payments. Avoid arranged payments. This one also, I forgot to mention it. I mentioned it in the area of when you are moving from one house to another, please close the account of the services you used in that house properly before you move. When you want to move, don't just collect your deposit and move. Say, well, I don't collect my deposit. Before you move, make sure that number one, every services you use were properly closed. How? Call the council, tell them you are moving out on so day. Call the energy company, tell them you are moving out on so day. Call the water company, tell them you are moving out on so day, so that they can reconcile their accounts and tell you if you are owing or not, and you can sort it out quickly. And even after that, they will tell you they are not owing. Tell them that they should send you an email confirming that the account has been closed. Why? Because if it is never recorded, it never existed as evidence in the future. Another thing which I usually recommend, why? Because many of us, if you notice, you go experience it, when you move to a new apartment, the person that was staying there before, you still they receive their letter, true or false? You go just say the letter, they go they drop am, and post office will be very diligent to drop it. So imagine one of the bills that you know close very well from your former house where you move. Now that you have moved to a new apartment, but unfortunately the bill was still going to the former house. Why? Because you didn't remember to close it well, or you didn't properly change your address. There is something in Royal Mail which is called mail redirect. Mail redirect, you can just Google it or go to Royal Mail website and check for mail redirect. What mail redirect does is, if you leave a house and you move to another house, you can tell Royal Mail that any mail that is sent to this house within this period, please forward it to this new address. So hence, you will not be able to miss any important email that was dropped into your mailbox, into that former house. Just go to Google, type Royal Mail Redirect. You can set it up for 3 months. You can set it up for 1 year. You can say you want it to cover all the people living in your house. For instance, I remember when we did our child's visa application, the renewal, we were staying in Luton. They did not respond on time. Hence, we moved to Wira. Now, as far as Home Office is concerned, it's the old address they have. So if they were requesting for more information, if they chose that they want to send this more information request via post message, it will never get to us, our new address. If you not get, even if you get good neighbor, the good new person where they stay for the place where they stay before, how can they trace where you are? So what I do for them is I say wrong address or no longer live here. I write them inside that, on top of that email, and I post it back into the. But how many people would delete me? I have some of them. I just they pile up. If the agency come, they will come carry on themselves. So the best thing is to set up a redirect and a mail redirect or Royal Mail, so that anyone you miss by chance can always be forwarded to you. So that is very important. So close it properly. If you feel you have not closed it, so that your own end, you feel say they do well, But for their own head, they still dey tell you say you dey owe 12. Energy company are big at doing this. You think you've cleared everything, they will still send you mail that for that last one you have an outstanding bill of £200, and to you, you don't pay a fee. So it's important. Why? Because once that payment is missed repeatedly, it will be reported against you in your report. Very important. The third one is please and please don't go, especially for those where they look for credit card as if that their papa property. Please, when applying, don't go directly to the company. For instance, you go to Aqua Card directly, or you go to American Express directly, or you go to post office website directly to apply for your credit card. Don't use what we call an eligibility checker. These are websites that gather the same information that these companies will ask from you, but they will gather it and cross-check it against what that company is expecting to know if you are qualified first. So that if you are not qualified, they will give you the one that has the likelihood to approve you. So that when you now go and apply, the tendency of being rejected is less. Why? Because when you go and apply, there is something called ad check. They go hammer ad check on you. That lending company will go hammer ad check, and ad check has a negative impact on your credit report or your credit rating. If you want to borrow house, they will still do ad check on you. You want to take car finance, they will do ad check on you. But your normal check, like you want to take insurance, is a soft check. You want to be on a contract, is a soft check. You want to rent a property, is a soft check. Soft check does not have implication on you. So instead of you going directly, use those eligibility checker. One of them is compare the market. We have USwitch, we have confused.com. You understand? Just use those ones so that you can see which company is likely going to borrow you first. That's number one. Number two, if for any reason you don't go apply directly and they've rejected you, please make sure that there's a 6-month interval between the time you applied and the next time you're applying. So don't say because America Express don't reject me, immediately you go Aqua Express the next week, apply again. That one too reject you. You go to the third one. Which one be the third one? May not give me. I don't know their name again. You go to the third one, you apply again. You know what that thing is saying? It's saying that this guy is depending on credit. His finance is not together. His life seems messed up. So to a lending body, it seems to sound like this guy is a credit freak. So it's recommended put a minimum of 6 months interval before you do your next application if you have been rejected once. The third one is, please, when you are using credit, because they give you 4,000 allowance, does not mean you swallow the 4,000. To use up the 4,000 is sounding like this guy is big on credit, depending on credit. So he doesn't have the financial wealth to manage his life. So the question of stability becomes a query for them. So what is usually the recommended? Don't use more than 25% of your credit facility every month. Not because you cannot pay it back, but because it's showing that you are not depending on credit. There are two different things. So don't use more than 25%. I'm saying this why? Because of people who still get coconut head, we say they will go get the third and the fourth credit card tomorrow. Just be careful. It is not your money. If you are not using it for business, you don't have any business with it. If not, now you be the product. You they pay their salary. Just be careful. All right. So the last one is, please, for that credit side, make sure say they miss your payment. All those things are recorded against your report. Oh, please be careful. The next one I will talk about that I mentioned is they try to remember them. After that, the next one is an association, finance by affiliation. For instance, husband and wife, now both of us they rent the house. Hence, council they say now both of us, our name they apply, they show on top the council bill whenever we pay. Energy to the same thing. To the rating agency, it is showing that these people are associated together financially. That does not have a direct impact on my credit report. But what it does is, by association, there are some kind of lendings that I want to make that they would have to check the financial report of that person also, the credit report of that person. Why? Because that person can have a financial implication on me if their report is poor. I've seen where people want to buy house. The woman was very faithful. She know they borrow money, but the husband, now in they use money, they do loud loud. So it's not good. And it was wasteful when it comes to finance. Now, those kind of people, they collect for credit card, they max amount. Now, when they wanted to get mortgage, the woman had a very good score. But because the man had a poor credit risk system, it now was denying them the lending rate that they could have got at about 3.5%. That company could not give them because of the association with the man. So they had to go and look for another company that was willing to give them around 6%. So by association, it has impact depending on some of the things you want to lend. Very important. That is why husband and wife should work as a team. Credit is not free money. It's not miracle money. Overdraft no be gift. The way you associate with it at the long run goes a way of impacting and showing who you are from a financial point of view. So can you see that it's more than score? It's about your report, your interaction and engagement that show how credible you are. So I've mentioned that of association. The next one I mentioned is please avoid CCJ. CCJ is county court judgment. Anything that will require the lender to go to court to use bailiff to come and collect the money from you, avoid it as much as possible, because it simply means the reason why they would have to use bailiff to come and collect the money is because your finance is not able to maintain that lifestyle. That is what it is saying. So avoid it. That's why I tell people, don't live beyond your lifestyle. Don't live at a point whereby they would have to use a recovery agent to come and collect the car finance from you because you lose your job. When you use 23,000 to collect the car, you were looking at it on your salary, but you never knew the other end. Why? Because the only means of repaying back is salary. So you see how people get into shit, into problem because of lifestyle. Guys, credit is not your friend if you are not using it for business. Credit is not your friend if you are not using it for business. I dey beg now. Why? Because I did a stat. I brought out a stat yesterday. The indebtedness to asset ratio. We blacks are the highest. Now we be oga patapata of them most in the whole UK. Now we have the biggest ratio of indebtedness to assets. So we depend heavily on credit. Please, credit is not your friend if you are not using it for business, because all those things are written to you. And those kind of information, don't you think it has a way of influencing lenders when they see that the application is from a black? What they can overlook for some of these other race, they might not overlook it for us. Why? Because the stat is showing that our dependency on credit is higher than our asset ratio. Yes, we cannot stop the big picture, but you can stop your own so that it doesn't have negative impact on you. So we've spoken about CCJ, avoid it. The last one is please make sure that there's no fraud alert to your account. What is fraud alert? Somebody send money from your account, but unknowing to you, the person that sent it money to you was fraud. Now somebody else account or somebody else money will be now fraudulent with the money enter the account. Now they send that to you. The fact that money crossed into your account is implicated already. Ideally, in the UK, they will first close that account. Number one, they go block them if there's an investigation. Number two, most likely they will close that account. I know the funniest or the painful thing is you would most likely never be able to open any account on a high street bank again in the UK for a long period of time. Why? Because of money where you don't know. So you have a friend who is in your schoolmate. He said his brother from Italy wants to send money, that they need you to help you collect the money. You don't know where the money they come from. They do a job, people they contribute. Now your account they send all the money. You don't know where the money is coming from. They send online, but they give them your account number, maybe they send the money to you. You don't know who they send money to you, where they're coming from. So how do you do it? Please, if it's a business you are running, run it as a business. How do I mean? If you are selling online, have a business account. If don't have a business account, use an online payment system. There's Stanstore, there's Beacon, there's PayPal, there's Stripe, there's Cool.com. Use those systems. Why? Because they have fraud detecting system. And the fact that the money did not come to your account directly, it went into the gateway first before it gets to your account is protected. Somebody used a fraudulent card to buy course. Now God will punish that person for me. He did it to me last year. So imagine if I had given them my account, that they should make the payment directly to my account. Out of my innocency, trying to help Nigerians and immigrants to learn how to invest. See how I could have implicated my life. So use that system. If you are doing business, let the money go to your business account. I know they try to avoid tax, but make you use small mess, spoil big yash. So avoid all those things at every cost. I've just done a review again of all what I've taught today. Jide, do you have a channel on YouTube? Yes, what I am doing now is, because I know some people will not be able to access this at every point in time. So I am moving all my recording. I think this is good, right? I am moving all the recording that I am doing for this section. I am putting it on YouTube. Let me see if I have the YouTube channel here so I can share it. Like I've moved the day one. I will upload the day 2 and day 3 as well. Just 1 second. Let me see if I have the YouTube channel. If I don't have it, I can quickly give you the channel address. Jide, you are too efficient. Jide, you are too efficient. Might clap for myself. So I'll be putting the YouTube channel on the board now so that you can just 1 second, guys. Let me put the YouTube channel on the board on the screen so that you can watch. Guys, please go and subscribe there so that you can watch it. People have been asking this same question. That's why I am putting it there. Except you feel it's not important, I can successfully remove it because I'm not even making money from it. So I'm just putting it there. Just 1 second, guys. All right. While I'm doing that, let me see if there's any other question. What about loan repayments? I don't know what you mean about loan repayments. Narcast. You can put more light into that so I can know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean by loan repayments. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. I think I've responded to all the questions. Let me get the YouTube channel so that people, I will load the one we just finished today as well on the channel tonight so that you can go there and watch it. Just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. I'm coming. I'm trying to. All right. So I will need somebody to help me type it in the comment section. Job opportunity. We'll be having a conversation around job in I think Wednesday or Thursday. We'll be having a section where we'll be talking about jobs. I'll be bringing somebody in to talk alongside myself, but my main coverage is not job. I don't do job conversation. My conversation is usually around finance, but because once every quarter I do a 15 days back-to-back session whereby I cover practically everything and anything, so that's why we are having this kind of engagement right now. All right, so let me put it up because of every day I'll be streaming 6 p.m. till the end of this month. Every day 6 p.m. where we have several topics that will be covered. So we'll be talking about things like we started the first day talking about understanding the system. Yesterday we talked about debt. Today we talked about credit. Tomorrow we'll be talking about budgeting and manage financial management system so that you can be on top of your game. Next we'll be talking about the 4 different quadrants. You know, we'll be talking about the 4 different quadrants, that everybody can move from so that you can have a successful life in the UK. We'll also be talking about career growth. We'll have a conversation around self-employment, stretching yourself into wealth zones, I call it. We'll have another section where we'll be talking about insurance. How can you leverage insurance in this country? We'll be talking about the next generation. I call it building up the next generation. Some of you say you came into the UK because of your children. So what are you doing for that children so that you don't lose that children, and you make sure that you are building children that can stand the test of time? This is fake account. Host respond. Which fake account? Somebody is streaming live. You are saying it's fake account. All right. Thank you for the information. All right, so we would have that conversation around building for the upcoming generation. We would have conversation around networking. Hey guys, so you leave that place, you're disturbing me. We have conversation around networking, budgeting, mentoring, and accountability. How can you take advantage of mentoring here in this country? Oh, I know why you're asking. You're asking to be sure this is not the fake account. This is the real account. Now I understand. It's the real account. Thank you. So we'll talk about building assets against liability. We'll talk about investment. Oh, no problem, my dear. We'll talk about investment. We'll talk about business. So the next 12 days, today is day 3. I have 12 days more to go. You did try. I'll be showing up every day, 12 o'clock. I say 12. You see, say my brain don't want shut down tonight. I'll be showing up every day, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. every day. That's why if you don't follow me, most likely you will never get notification. So follow me so that TikTok can notify you whenever I'm streaming. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll be talking about a very critical aspect of finance that many people do not do. Because of that, they think life is difficult. So they are not in charge of their finance. This is why sometimes they have to depend on credit card. We'll be talking about that conversation tomorrow. Guys, we are not even talking about how to make money yet. We are talking about how to make sure that the place where you want to make money into is properly structured so that you don't make money into a system that is poor. Why? Because it will only expand poverty if you make money into a system that is poor. So if you are not following me, you will most likely not get notification. And guys, I'll never come to your DM. Please let me mention it and tell you about one investment, about one thing, and send you one number. Anybody that is doing that is a scammer. Please just block them and report them. It is not from me. There are about 4 fake GDNA accounts on TikTok right now telling people and sending. They scammed somebody of £1,000 about 2 months ago. Please, I will never come. See me, I don't dey here in front of you. I never asked you for money since morning. Now inside your DM, I will come, they meet you, they talk about send money to me for. It's not from me. It's avoid scammer. That's why I say if you don't follow the original one, you will most likely follow the fake one. Please be careful about that so that you don't lose your money. So 6 p.m. every day. Now for the YouTube channel, let me write it on the board. So I try to make it easy. I'll also put it in my bio. I'll put the link in my bio also once we are done. The link is just type jideneye.com/YouTube. It will take you to the YouTube channel. I write now where? The one where I write now. I write now as if na doctor, right? I write that in a legible way. Jideneye. Somebody can type it into the comments so I can pin it. .com/YouTube. All right, so that is my YouTube channel. I'll also upload the class we had today there so that you can have access to it. All right, so that is it. jideneye.com/YouTube. Take a screenshot of it so I can remove it, guys. All right, so we meet tomorrow. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. again, we'll have another good topic we're going to be looking into. For everybody who joined me today, thank you. Well, everybody who followed us today might give you our trumpets. Now the heavenly trumpets with the blow here. Thank you. For everybody who liked, for everybody who shared, for everybody who give at me or one small coin. Thank you. Guys, in this country, ignorance is not a strategy. And you cannot solve a problem at the level of knowledge in which it was created. You see why many people can be rolling for 15 years in the same thing and it will look like it is impossible. Why? Because it's obvious that there's a deficiency of financial education. Guys, in everything you will get this week, make sure you are listening to a podcast or something that will improve your financial knowledge. The more you know, the more you find out that you can do well financially. See you tomorrow, guys. We join again 6 p.m. where we'll have a conversation about a topic, and I have a free gift I'll be giving out to help people tomorrow. I'll be doing that tomorrow by 6 p.m. I'll try and do just 1 hour, 30 minutes tomorrow. Have a lovely night rest. Bye-bye. Beautiful week ahead of you. It will be a week of favor and blessing. And God will bring answer to that prayer that you have been praying about. In Jesus' name. I love you. Have a lovely night rest. Bye-bye. Guys, if you are not following me, please click the follow button. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.